Over the past 5 weeks, you've learned about different elements related to critical thinking. You've related the concepts to your personal experiences and evaluated your own critical thinking skills. You've identified fallacies, evaluated arguments, and learned the role of these concepts in your daily life. Now, it's time to apply the concepts. In this assignment, you will review a real-world scenario and apply the critical thinking skills that you've developed over the last 4 and 5 weeks. The first thing you're going to do is review the critical thinking scenario provided. You'll do that by clicking on this link. In the critical thinking scenario, you'll see it's a short scenario, and it's all about Sally. Okay, Sally is a 34-year-old woman. She works for a printing firm, and she takes customer calls pretty much all day and problem solves. Okay, so you'll read about her various experiences, and you'll note that there are some hints posted within the scenario to kind of spur your critical thinking with regard to what exact elements are being referenced. Okay, so read the critical thinking scenario. Next, you'll want to download the reflection template. Okay, this is a Word document, and it looks exactly like this. All right. So you're going to replace all of this content with your own content. So come up with your own title for the paper, insert your own name, etc. Okay, then you'll do the same down here, and here you are ready for your introductory paragraph. Okay, you will triple click your mouse here, and you'll want to delete everything, but read it first. Okay, so for an introductory paragraph, basically this content reminds you, start with something interesting. Your introductory paragraph should begin with a hook of some sort, maybe pose a question revolving around critical thinking, etc. Okay, preview your upcoming content and leave us with an overall feeling for what is to come. Okay, for the next paragraph, you're being asked to analyze the scenario for the elements of critical thinking presented. Okay. Specifically, you're going to look for what barriers to critical thinking were apparent. In week 1, we talked about specific critical thinking barriers. We listed them. We talked about them in your assignment. So you are familiar with these if you did your reading, etc. Okay, go back, look at those specific barriers, and figure out which ones are exhibited in the critical thinking scenario. So talk about that, and then talk about whether Sally possesses the characteristics of a good critical thinker. Why or why not? Okay, so you're going to look at the roles of those things in the scenario. For the next paragraph, you're going to focus on reason, emotion, and communication. Okay, so basically you're going to analyze Sally's demonstration of reasoning. What was her demonstration of the various emotions she used? How did those impact her critical thinking, her actions, etc.? Okay, and refer back to week 2 course content for information about emotion and reasoning. And then talk about what type of communication style Sally used. We talked a lot about our own personal communication styles and took a quiz on what type of communication style you have. What type of communication style does Sally use? Okay, use your critical thinking skills to determine that, and then justify your reasoning for that particular observation. For the next section, you're going to be looking at fallacies present in the scenario. There are multiple fallacies. Go back, review all of the fallacies that we studied in week 3, and figure out which ones are represented in the scenario. What's the main argument presented? What is valid or invalid about the main arguments presented? Okay, and then explain why. Okay. Finally, you'll have your concluding paragraph. In that paragraph, you will wrap up your essay, leave us with something to ponder, summarize what was the overall takeaway about critical thinking in the scenario. Then, after you've edited it and you feel really good about all of the content, you're going to also want to review the rubric supplied. So go ahead and review how the points were allocated for each part. Make sure you meet those expectations, and then add your final scenario using the Add Content button. Don't forget to hit that Submit button, and you should be set. Again, if you have any questions at any time, just let me know. Best wishes. Take care out there.